the question, some of the main challenges combating poverty. That's a hard question. And I was encouraged to keep my answers short, and this would defy that request. I think one of the things is, there's several things. A couple that come to mind is it's really complicated. Poverty is a really complicated issue. It's not a simple black and white issue. It's not a simple binary. Here's 1, 2, and 3. But I would say that in a lot of that, you can speak about issues of corruption. You can speak about entitlement. You can speak about the simple case of lack of access to certain things. When I speak to the average layperson to a church, I think one of the things that we have to realize is to break this myth that we don't have enough to be able to engage poverty. Right? There is enough in Bend. There is enough in this country. There's enough in this world. And so part of it, I think, is to have the courage to really examine our mechanisms and processes to figure out how is it that in a world where we still have enough, that there's 1.2 billion people in this world that live in extreme poverty. How is it possible that in our world today and next week, next month, when iPhone 6 comes out, we're going to go in this amazing frenzy. And I'm not knocking it per se, but I say that because it reminds me everyone's going to go aghast about how amazing technology is. I was at an airport recently, and I went to the toilet. This is probably the first time that someone's talking about a toilet for Redux. I'm at this toilet, and it amazed me because as I was about to sit, this seat cover was moving all by itself, and I thought, what kind of world do we live in? And we live in a world where there's so many advances, and yet we live in a world where 850 million people don't have access to clean water. So that's kind of a long way of saying that I think one of our problems is the lack of will. The lack of tenacious will to say, this is ungodly. I mentioned this a couple days ago when I met with some students at Kilns College. If there's something that Christians and other religious folks or non-religious folks that we have to work together, it's issues of justice. That we shouldn't fight about this. Like, we can all agree that everyone deserves clean water, that everyone deserves the right to feed their children. And so we have to work together. So that's another long way of saying the lack of, I think, collaboration that's in our culture is extensive, and even within our churches.